All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to start with giving our thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 9 premiere being the lowest rated premiere for a season in the show's history. And spoiler warning if you guys have not seen the premiere episode for The Walking Dead Season 9 as of yet. So a lot of people asked for me to give my thoughts on this one. We'll do that first before we get into your guys' questions for today. And just around, how popular Walking Dead is right now, buzz and that kind of thing for this season. And with it being the lowest rated premiere for a new season, not counting the first year. So the first year, the Days Gone By premiere was only 5.35 million viewers. But then after that, Season 2 was at 7 for the premiere. Then it was 10 for Season 3, 16 for Season 4, 17 for Season 5, and, it continued to do really well. Last year it tapered off a little bit to 11, and then this year it only did 6. So 6 million U.S. viewers for The Walking Dead as a premiere is the lowest we've ever had for a new season, not counting the very first season of the show. It's the lowest for a returning season. The pilot of the series is kind of like, you can totally get that because you don't know how many people are going to want to watch it. You don't know how many people even heard about it. But it's a significant drop off for sure. It's even lower than Season 2's was with Season 9. But they also had the AMC Premiere service as well too. So that's being kind of touted as one of the reasons why maybe it's lower than it usually was. But the thing about that is, I don't know how many people would actually sign up for AMC Premiere, and I'm pretty sure because like here, I don't think I can sign up for it in Canada, and those of you guys who are in the UK or other countries. It might depend where you are and on what provider there is, but I'm sure it's mostly a US based thing. I don't know how many people would sign up for it. AMC is saying that it was their highest sign-up day in history of the service, but I think the service is pretty new, and it's a cool service. It's a cool option. People get a chance to watch the episode early, so I think it was up to a day early for this one, and then past that, there's other things like they get to watch the beginning minutes of the episodes and stuff like that ahead of time, so they get some kind of bonus features and this kind of thing if for people that sign up for AMC Premiere. So that's cool. I'm glad it was their highest subscribed day in the history of the service, and that a lot of people did, subscribe to it because of The Walking Dead. Of course, them AMC being smart about it and capitalizing on the popularity of The Walking Dead as much as they can and trying to create additional revenue streams for themselves is a good idea, especially if they want to keep the series going. And that's still a lot. Over 6 million U.S. viewers, not counting other countries, of course, and The Walking Dead is huge overseas and all around the world, right? So I'm sure it's probably fine. But, it's something. It is the lowest new premiere for a season, like I said, except for the very first year, the very first season of the show. Lowest returning premiere for a season there is. But, I knew this going in. Like a lot of people asked me, and I was like, I don't know. I guess we'll do it. We'll start today's Q&A with it because it's like, it gives us an idea of how popular their series is at a certain point. But I kind of knew, I kind of could feel this online anyway as I've been making the videos this year getting ready for the season. I can kind of tell pretty well ahead of time where fan interest is at, and how much people are enjoying the show, how they're feeling. And the internet tends to be a little bit more negative than probably the general viewing population, more trolling and stuff like that. And that tends to stick out a lot. And a lot of people enjoy doing that online. So there is that. But I tend to get a pretty good read on things even before we get to see the episodes for how much hype there is, depending on the season and everything. I'm surprised this year that the Rick Grimes final episodes thing didn't increase viewership at all. If anything, maybe or it didn't add hype to it at all. If anything, it may have backfired. So with them kind of acknowledging it and going the route that they went, they probably would have been better to build anticipation. But then again, and had some kind of scene where you weren't sure about it, maybe a whisper intro scene or something like that. But that said, this is the 9th year of the show. It's been on a long time. Things are not hot like that forever. Things come in and out of popularity, and you can kind of feel it from season 8. The beginning of season 8 was at like over 11 million, and it finished at like just under 8 million for the final episode. So coming back after All Out War, coming back after that, I kind of expected to see something like this. And I'm sure it's still fine for the show. I'm sure it's okay. We got to keep in mind they're doing 16 episodes a year. They can replay the episodes forever. This is just U.S. viewers, and if they've got a premium service that they can, create additional revenue from it, which is smart, then it's probably just fine. It's probably not even, not a bad thing or anything like that. But if we didn't know already, and now we know for sure, definitely the popularity of The Walking Dead is waning for sure. So no surprise at all for me. I basically expected that. Anxious Net Game says 6.1 total million viewers for the premiere of Season 9, half of Season 8. Well, it's a little bit more than half, but I hear what you're saying. It's quite the decrease after All Out War. And I did see that last year in Season 8. A lot of people really weren't that into it anymore, and I think time has a lot to do with the amount of episodes and all that. After they passed the 100th episode, it was like, really, they've done 100 episodes? Like, wow. Yeah, that's a lot, man. It's hard to come up with new stuff when you've done you've done so much all the time. Daryl Dixon says, I had the episode downloaded before it even aired on TV. It was up early due to being released a day early on AMC Premiere. So many people already had seen it. So, yeah, people already had seen it early. It's just that's a new service, so it's cool. Tobin Erwin said the premiere had 6 million viewers. Once Andrew Lincoln leaves, the show is completely done. Well, okay, so based on what we're seeing right now, if it's only at 6 million right now, I don't think it'll go below 3 after that happens. But then again, I could be wrong. I'd probably say somewhere around 4 after that happens. Or maybe it goes up for a few episodes or for like half a season, and then by the time the next season rolls around or we get into the back half, it gets into the 4s, that kind of thing. Or, maybe around 3, depending after that. But we'll see. We'll see how many people are still into it at that point, and kind of go from there. But it is kind of sad to see The Walking Dead in that kind of state. I don't think it is the fault of what was in the premiere episode. I don't think there was anything in the premiere episode that was the cause of it, being lower than, almost half of where it was the year prior. I think it's just kind of the natural run of things and how Season 8 turned out and how people were feeling about Season 8 and, coming back. Because really, what's going to reflect it mostly is the promotion, but then also how many people want to come back the next year after seeing the prior year. So usually, when you have big episodes, it kind of reflects it after that. And, depending on how people were feeling during Season 8, now we see kind of the comeback from that this season after it comes back after the break, right after the summer break. Saints Arrow says, I feel like they were probably like, we need a third person to come back for Rick's death. How about Steven, Chandler, Sarah? They all can't. I guess we'll get Sonequa, right? So for Sasha, for Rick's death. And that is true. We'll have to see how many people they were able to get for if they're going to do that in Episode 5, if they're going to do like a Rick's death type of deal. Which, again, I've always said I hope not. People still say you're in denial, Trev. Of course, that's what it is. And it's like, I know, but, it's like, yeah, it probably is. But, I just don't. I want to hold out hope till the very last minute, to see what happens. But we'll see who they actually do have come back. There's been 3 that have been announced already. I gave my thoughts on yesterday, so we won't retread that. But I would not be surprised if there's even more. That said, though, you would think Chandler Riggs would come back. If they're going to kill Rick off, you would think that, okay, maybe you have Shane, maybe you have Herschel, but you'd think you probably have Chandler come back. Sarah Wayne Callies, who played Laurie, I don't know if that's necessary because he's with Michonne now, so I kind of almost say for that, probably not, or I don't know, but definitely I would think Chandler Riggs should probably be there as Carl if you're going to do it right. So, but I think he said he wasn't in any of the episodes. Hopefully he was just kind of lying, or I misinterpreted that, and that he will be there somehow, but we'll see, right? Peter Francis says, I will bet with anyone here that Rick's final episode will not be the highest rated episode of the series. This show is too far gone and nothing will bring the fans back. I think that's kind of the way fads work when things are really, really hot. Eventually they're going to burn out a little bit unless they end it, and then people will watch it to the end. Like Game of Thrones is a good example of one where it will probably be super strong right to the end because they decided to end it at that time. Because The Walking Dead is deciding to go on a lot longer and has already done more seasons, because Game of Thrones is not getting a 9th season. It's only 8 seasons. The 8th season's coming out in the spring, and then that's it, right? It's never going to have any more after that. But I agree with you 100%. Definitely Rick's Episode 5 will probably not be the highest rated episode ever. But after people hear about it, they might check out the series, and it might drive up the next episode, Episode 6, and create a lot of buzz. Because everybody already has been talking about it pretty much all summer. But once the episode actually hits, then if they actually do that, and that's what we're seeing, then yeah, it's gonna bring a lot of attention to Walking Dead for sure, and it will be the biggest death of the series, no question about it. But are you going to be able to get the fans back to 17 million viewers, that kind of thing, like it had in its heyday? Probably not ever. Probably never. It's probably not going to happen. Or at least if it does, I'll be shocked if it did. Rebecca Byam says, I'm loving the vibe so far. Cool intro. Daryl has more lines and more character interactions. I'm excited for the whispers, but sad Rick is leaving. And yeah, I think we're all kind of sad that Rick is leaving. And, for Daryl, that's true. He is getting more lines already this season, which I think is good. He's going to have to, right? Like, if you're not going to have Rick there, he's going to have to get quite a few lines. And maybe, like Beth said, he will be the last man standing. So he will actually be the longest survivor in The Walking Dead. He was in the first season. He wasn't in the premiere. He was in the first season. And he's still alive right now. And Norman Reedus is in. So, whenever they wrap the series up, from now on, it's like, I know he doesn't want to, but it's like we kind of have to pick somebody to be the forefront, cover guy for The Walking Dead. And, Ezekiel's cool and all, and some of the others are cool. Morgan's gone to Fear, so, who's it going to be? It's probably going to be Daryl. It's not going to be Negan. Not right now. Maybe, well, kind of as a villain, but it's probably going to be Daryl. He's probably going to be your lead good guy in the series, in my opinion. Dad Boy says, when will Tara die already? So, I don't know, man. With all these other stuff going on, it's kind of like she may, there's another one that's surviving way longer than people would have expected. Same with Carol, too, right? A lot of people thought Carol would be killed off way earlier. They almost killed her off season 3. Thankfully, they didn't. But for Tara as well, too, well, she has her fans. She's got a lot of fans. So, season 4 came into the series. She's still kicking. She'll probably still be here next year, so that'll be like season 10. But yeah, I would not be surprised if she was killed off before the end of the season. But then again, it's kind of like you have so many other deaths too and all that. Is it really even necessary? Maybe it's not even necessary now. Maybe she'll survive out the series like Daryl. I don't know. Unlikely survivor to the end, right? So Anna Hunt says, Trev, what are your thoughts on the theory that one of the saviors stabs Rick? Well, they could do that. They might do that. We'll have to see. I mean, there's a few different possibilities for how things are going to go down in episode 5. It could be a whisper, and a lot of people like that idea. It could be a regular zombie that gets him, like a herd that gets him or something. It could be like he gets bitten or something like that, or maybe a bunch of times. It could be a savior with a tainted weapon or something, because they kind of touched on that last year a little bit. Or it could be in, who knows, hopefully not some kind of fake out death or something. So it could be that. It could be a savior, or, who knows, could be helicopter. What else? I don't know. I've seen, I think somebody, one of the sites predicted Negan would be the one to kill Rick. I'm like, I don't think so. But, I don't know. I forget. It's one of those, like, Looper, one of those sites like that. I saw a video. I forget what site it was. One of those websites did a prediction that Negan would be the one to kill Rick. I'm like, I don't think so. But who knows? Maybe they're right. Maybe they know something I don't. I don't know. Gabriel Bloom says, Trev, can you please do reaction to episode 5? I will, dude. Or at least I'll do the reactions the way I do them, which is where basically I do a video right after we watch it live and react to it with you guys. Will I be able to put the video in my video and then post it like that? I don't usually do that. Probably not. Because like I said, for me it's different. A lot of people say, well, Trev, why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? Why don't you... Oh, some people have been asking for a Better Call Saul review for the finale of the season. And I want to do it. The problem is time. I'm always very limited for time. If I'm at 45 hours at my day job and then I'm doing this after, that puts me at around 63, 65 hours a week. So you guys got to understand that. So it's difficult for me to do other stuff. And as far as like reaction time and putting video and doing all that, mainly the reason why I don't do that is because I have to, on Sunday night, I have to get the videos done with you guys because, I have to go to sleep and then wake up and then work the next day for, a 9-hour shift right after that. So I don't always get time. It does take up quite a bit of time to do that, and I'd rather do that than do the review with you guys. We go into all the stuff, you get everything ready for the Q&As, do predictions for next episode, that kind of thing. Kind of a format I have, worked out that I figured out, or I got set back in like season 2 or 3 or whenever I started kind of doing that. Nikki Poo 92 says, Trev, were you confused by the bridge scenes in the premiere? Rosita implies that a herd took it down. I don't know how. Then later in the episode, Daryl says a big storm took out a few bridges. I don't know what to think. I'm not sure how a herd can take down a bridge. Well, apparently, I've heard of this one in physics. Apparently, if there's a whole bunch of people stomping on a bridge and everyone kind of goes across to it shoulder to shoulder and they all stomp the bridge, apparently it creates so much force on the bridge, or the way bridges are designed, it can collapse a bridge, apparently. So I don't know. You'd think when you have big truckloads of stuff, trucks going over and back and forth, the weight would be a lot higher. But apparently if you had a whole bunch of hungry walkers, they were all stamping around going after somebody or something, let's say, bumping into the walls and stuff like this, if it was really packed in there for a while and it was a huge herd that came through, like the one that we saw back in season 6, the ginormous herd, right? If a herd like that came through, I could certainly see, of like 30,000 zombies, I could certainly see if that's true, because I'm not a physics guy, computer science guy, but that's what I heard anyway. If that's true, if 30,000 walkers went through a spot, or so many walkers like that, a mega herd went through like a small bridge and we're all like falling off and all just like stamping around and hitting things everywhere, then I wouldn't be surprised if part of it broke off or something like that. But could the Whisperers have blown it up or something like that? Yeah, I think that makes sense too. Or it could just be a storm, like we saw that in Fear the Walking Dead. They had the hurricane that went through, right? So something like that definitely would make sense if there was a big storm or something and there's no maintenance, that over however many years it's been, 4 or 5 years or whatever, it could eventually break off piece of it and that kind of thing, and it could be unusable, right? And they'd have to fix it. Things breaking down. Frito James says, last one says, does anyone know when the Whisperers will actually show up? And that'll be the last one for today's video. Probably pretty soon. We'll have to see. I think by episode 5 we'll definitely see them. I know they've got kind of the conflict right now going between the communities and that kind of thing, but I expect to see the Whisperers coming in more and more all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we started to see, the messages from them in episode 2 or 3, and then we start to actually, maybe we see our first one in episode 5 or 4 or 3. We'll have to see how they do it. But that'd be a cool way to introduce them. If you're going to kill Rick off, that'd be a super badass way to introduce the Whisperers. If Rick goes to kill a zombie and all of a sudden it dodges him and stabs him in the stomach or something, that'd be brutal. So I'm gonna say, like, let's hope they don't do that. But I don't know what they're gonna do. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're feeling about Walking Dead right now. Lowest rated premiere, a new season premiere since the premiere of the actual show. And but it's okay. Keep it positive. It's probably fine, I'm sure. And I certainly will be watching until the bitter end, the very end, right? So if you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, favorite, leave comments below if you want to see another Q&A this week. This might be the last one for this week, unless we get any other cool news or stuff like that, or I get some really good questions or topics from you guys. So leave a comment below if you have one. And I'll see you guys again soon for another Walking Dead video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon.